Hey, Planty people! You've probably heard me use the term epiphyte a few times in my videos, and that it refers to plants that grow on the trunks of trees. But why do they do that? What's the evolutionary purpose? And why are so many of them kept as houseplants? Well, the houseplant question is the easiest to answer because they require less soil and water than a lot of plants. They're used to growing in small spaces, so growing from a little pot on your windowsill isn't that different from growing on a tree. The more complicated question is, why would plants want to attach themselves to other plants when they've got a whole planet to grow out of? One reason is so they have access to more sunlight. The forest floor is pretty dark, so when plants began growing taller around the late Devonian period, some of the smaller plants said, "Hey, you're blocking my light. I need that to grow." And they hitched a ride up to the sunlit canopy by anchoring themselves to the branches of larger plants. Another reason is so they'd be more visible to pollinators. It's much easier to spot a colorful flower up in the sun than down under the trees. And up high in a tree, it's much more windy than the forest floor, and that helps disperse seeds or spores farther from the mother plant. Not to mention, they're less likely to be eaten by herbivores. Have you ever seen a cow climb a tree? But since other plants have access to nutrients and water in the soil, epiphytes needed to adapt to get what they need to grow. Now, you might have thought that they get their nutrients from the plants that they're growing on. Parasites get their nutrients and water from other plants, but not epiphytes. They developed other ways of growing instead. Bromeliads, for instance, developed cups at the base of their leaves to hold water. That's why, if you have one as a houseplant, you have to keep water in those cups. Got to keep that tank full. Tillandsia, or air plants, have trichomes on their leaves. Remember we talked about fuzzy plants? Gathering water is one purpose of those little hairs. That's why you mist air plants every day. They absorb water through their leaves. A lot of orchids, like the vanda, absorb water through their aerial roots. They have a spongy coating called a velamen radicum that collects water from dew, rain, mist, and even just humidity in the air. That's why vandas are usually sold without pots of soil. They don't really need them. You can even apply nutrients with a mister. Some epiphytes have thick, succulent leaves to hold more water and a waxy coating to help retain it. Hoyas are a really good example of this, and most orchids too. Then there are the plants that use Crassulacean acid metabolism. Whew, that's a mouthful. To retain water, which just means their stomata, or pores, only open up to take in carbon dioxide at night to prevent moisture loss during the heat of the day. Spanish moss is one epiphyte that does this, but lots of orchids and ferns do too. I know I've gotten super nerdy here, but some of my favorite plants are epiphytes, like ferns and mosses and lichen. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell to be notified when I release a new video. You can also find me on Instagram at planty.gen, where I share photos and tips as well. If you'd like to learn more about me, please visit my website at plantygenstinylandscapes.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Time for that theme song.
If your plants look sad and you lost all hope, tried everything, you're at the end of your rope, should you throw them out into the street? Nope, just ask Planty Gen. If you want to be a planty acolyte, learn the tips and tricks to keep them growing right. Water, fertilizer, and the right amount of light, just ask Planty Gen.
Crassulacean acid metabolism. Crassulacean acid metabolism. Crassulacean acid. Crassulacean acid metabolism. Crassulacean acid metabolism. Crassulacean...